Shalom Uvracha. Why did Hashem take out the Jewish people from Mitzrayim, from Egypt? For which purpose? We find two ideas in different psukim. One idea in Tehillim, chapter 81, Anochi Hashem Elokecha, I am Hashem, your God, Hamalcha me'eretz Mitzrayim, who brings you forth from the land of Egypt. For what? Harchev picha ve'amaleu, open up your mouths, open them wide, and I shall fill your mouths. That's one reason we came out from Mitzrayim, in order to open up our mouths and enjoy the goodness of Hashem. On the other hand, the pasuk in Shmos tells us that Behutziacha es ha'am mimitzrayim. Hashem tells Moshe Rabbeinu, when you will bring forth the nation from Egypt, then tavdun es ha'elokim ala har hazeh. You shall serve, you shall worship your God, Hashem, on this mountain, on Sinai. Meaning the purpose of our coming out from Mitzrayim is to serve Hashem by means of the entire Torah. And the question is, which one is it? Is it in order to open our mouths and receive all of the divine bounty that awaits us? Or is it in order to serve Hashem on this mountain, on Har Sinai, with the Torah? The answer must be that the two converge to become one. They have the same meaning, the same essence. The idea of opening up our mouths is an idea of trust. We place our trust in Hashem. We appreciate that all of the goodness in the world derives from Him, comes from Him, and therefore we open up our mouth in every walk of life, whether it's children or parnasa or good health or anything else. We open our life and open our mouths and appreciate that it comes from Him. And then He fills them. He gives us all of His great, infinite bounty. The same is true of our service in the Torah. Because our service, the Avodas Hashem that we do through the Torah, is diametrically opposite to the idea of idolatry. Chazal say that the entire Torah comes to negate, comes to preclude idolatry. In which way? Idolatry is transactional. The idea is that you give the gods their dues, and in return, the gods give you or give the person engaging in idolatry whatever he wants and he needs. So Chazal say that in idolatry, the person doing the worship stands upon his God. He commands him. He controls him. The opposite is true of Avodas Hashem. In Avodas Hashem, rather than transactional, rather than controlling your God, we approach Hashem in a relationship, in trust. We come to Hashem and we anticipate His goodness. That's the whole point of the Torah. That's why Matan Torah, the festival of Shavuot, Chazal say, is like a marriage day. It's like the institutionalization of the relationship between us and the Kadosh Baruch Hu, like a marriage. And what is essential for any marriage? Of course, trust. We come to Hashem with a position of trust. And many of the mitzvahs of the Torah, like the Ramban says, remind us of Yetzias Mitzrayim. Why? Because when Hashem brings us forth from Mitzrayim, He teaches us that we can trust Him. That's why the Torah begins with Anochi Hashem Elokecha. Hashem, I am Hashem, your God, who brought you forth from the land of Egypt, from the house of bondage, from a system of slavery to a system of trust. And we can trust Hashem. And therefore these two ideas, opening up our mouths and anticipating His goodness, His bounty on the one hand, and on the other hand, our service of Hashem on Har Sinai, these converge to one idea. And even though when we study the Torah, when we learn, of course we learn the Torah itself, we try to understand the mitzvahs, to know how to perform them, and then of course we actually have to realize that study, to perform the entire Torah, but the framing of all of that is a framing of trust that this is the means by which we come to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, open up our mouths and prepare ourselves to receive His bounty through all of the great promises of the Torah that promise us the infinite goodness that anticipates those, that awaits those who anticipate His goodness. Lamayachalim lachastoi, the pasuk says, those who await, those who anticipate. So how do we anticipate? By means of the entire Torah. How do we sum it up? Harchev picha va'amaleu. Open your mouths and I shall fill them. They are one and the same. And halavai, we wish that we should all have a Chag Sameach, a truly joyous and wondrous and inspirational Shavuot. And we should all be Zoiche, we should all merit to receive the great bounty of Hashem by means of the trust that we place in Him. Chag Sameach, good Yom Tov, and good Shabbos to all.